Hi, welcome to the 4th episode of the Sieverkropp.com video blog. Today I want to talk about something that is very, very important to me, and that is books. I love books, I love reading them, I love collecting them, I love buying them. As a matter of fact, my wife gets mad at me because I buy all these books, I get 3/4 of the way through them, I buy another one and start reading that one, and I have 6 books sitting next to our bed to read almost all the time. But today I want to talk about books that have made a significant impact on who I am. Self-improvement books, leadership books, business books. I want to talk about 3 books that have changed who I am, the way I look at things, and the way I do things. But before I do, I want to share with you a quote. It's a quote by Oscar Wilde that I found that I think really sums up the importance of reading and the importance of books in determining who you are. He says, "It is what you read when you don't have to that determines what you will be when you can't help it." So that's very important for us to remember, that what we read when we don't have to, the things we choose to read, are the things that will affect who we become as a person. So with that, the first book that has made a significant impact in my life is the first self-improvement book that I ever read. It was probably 10 years ago, and it's a book that has changed who I am. It's a book that I think about literally probably daily. Something about the book comes into my mind, or something I do, or how I think is affected by this book. And that book is The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen R. Covey. The reason I love this book is it teaches principles. It teaches things that have been true throughout the centuries. You can look at any successful person, and they've probably done most of, if not all of these things. It's a fantastic book for that reason. It teaches about our worldview, or what Dr. Covey calls a paradigm. And that is very important when we are dealing with other people, and understanding that the way we view the world and the way we view what we think is right, or how things are, is affected by our experiences, and that's our paradigm. This book really started my self-improvement journey, my journey to improve myself, to learn, to grow, and to become a better person, a better leader, a better husband, and a better father, has been because of this book. So I'd highly recommend it. The second book that I would highly recommend to you is a book called EntreLeadership by Dave Ramsey. I read this book probably 2 years ago, not too long after it came out. And when I read it and I finished it, I told myself that it was the best book I had read since I had read The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. It was the most impactful book for me since that book. The reason I like this book is it teaches you how to run a business and to participate in an organization using the golden rule, treating others the way that you would want to be treated, living by standards and morals, and winning by doing that. It's easy to think that we got to cut corners and cheat and change in order to be successful in business, and it's just not true. And Dave Ramsey teaches that very, very powerfully. There's a lot of practical advice. There's not a lot of fluff. There's not a lot of theory. It's all stuff that has been proven. You know, I think one of the things that it says, the subtitle of this book is 20 Years of Practical Business Wisdom from the Trenches. These are things that Dave Ramsey and his team do every single day at their business. So I'd highly recommend this book. It has changed the way I view leadership, and I believe it's a book that anybody who leads anybody or follows anyone should read. And that pretty much covers all of us. The third and final book I want to talk about is a book I read this year. And when I finished reading it, I said it was the best book I'd read since I read EntreLeadership. So you can see why these 3 books were picked. They're books that I consciously at the time said was the best book I'd read since the one before. And that book, the third one, is called The Power of Starting Something Stupid by Richie Norton. And it's a lot less well known than the other 2 books that I've shared with you, but let me tell you, it's just as powerful. It's a book where Richie talks about doing things that you want to do and not putting them off. He goes through all of the objections that you'll find in your life for not doing the things you want to do, and he debunks them. And he gives you ways to get around them and to think of things and do things that will change and allow you to do the things that you want to do in your life, and to accomplish things that you want to accomplish rather than putting them off for whatever reason. The reason this book is important to me is that it's a book that without reading it, I would not be doing the projects I'm doing right now. I would not be doing the things that I'm doing that really bring joy to my life, and the things that really make me happy that I'm doing outside of my regular job. I wouldn't have done them without this book. So those are the 3 books. The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Dr. Stephen R. Covey, Entree Leadership by Dave Ramsey, and The Power of Starting Something Stupid by Richie Norton. 3 books that I would highly recommend to any of you if you want to become a better person, a better leader, a better spouse, a better parent. They will help you to do that. They will teach you things that you need to know. And I want to leave you with a quote, another quote about reading. It's by Margaret Fuller, and she says, "Today a reader, tomorrow a leader." You can't be a leader. You can't lead other people, whether it's as a parent, whether it's in your business, whether it's in church, whether it's in another organization, without being a reader, because you need to be growing and learning if other people are going to follow you. Without that, no one's going to follow you because they're going to pass you. They're going to know more than you sooner or later. So it's important that we read, and those are 3 books that I would highly recommend you get. And to start with those in becoming a better person, learning about leadership and business and life, and how to deal with people. So check out those 3 books. I'll have links to purchase them in the notes for this blog post. And thanks for watching. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.